And today we have a special offering for you from the angelic realm. It's messages from your angels. Before you are 3 cards. Each card has its own unique message attached. The first is resistance. Do not resist the path laid for you. Everything has a purpose. 2, nourished and held. You are in a good place. Feeling nourished and held. And card 3, you are the creator of your own fog, and you're the master of your own destiny. If you'd like longer to use your intuition and to feel drawn to your card, then please do feel free to pause the reading here. And for those who are ready, let's crack on with your reading. Hi, card number ones, and welcome to Healing River Tarot. My name is Amy. Thank you for tuning in today for messages from the angels. You picked resistance. Do not resist the path laid for you. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a purpose, and it does, even when it feels as though we are swimming against the tide, like life is against us, like, negative things are happening to us. Often it comes down to acceptance and allowance, to allow the things that aren't for us to fall away, to make space for the things that are. And sometimes it's opening yourself up on your path and overcoming your fears, because you can put in your own way resistance towards connecting with another person, or resistance to changing the job. But if you actually resisted changing job and followed your passion and followed your heart and overcome your fear, you would get the dream job, you would get the girl, you would get the boy, you would get the prize. So sometimes resistance comes in the form of running away. Sometimes resistance comes in the form of of listening to our fears, of holding on to things for fear of change, for fear of opening up. And you're being asked today by the angels to do not resist the path that's laid for you, because everything and everyone in your life has a purpose. Okay? We all have a purpose with each other, and soul contracts with each other as well as our own contract with ourselves on our own planned growth path. People and situations come into our lives to challenge us, to allow us that spontaneous growth, to provide a higher timeline for us even. I mean, take for example, you are in a relationship or the start of a new relationship, and then things go a bit defunct, but rather than actually moving forward, you decide to go your separate ways. But what would have, that's the path of least resistance, right? Because it's easier to let things go than it is to stand up and be counted. It's easier to keep your mouth shut than it is to open it. It's easier to follow the path of fear, the path of familiarity, the path of comfort. But today you're being asked to not resist the path that has been laid for you, because this time round, everything on this path has a purpose for you. It always does, but in this instance. So whatever this is that you are resonating with in your life that this pertains to, it's definitely a message that the angels want you to be aware of today, and to encourage you to maintain connections if you're finding them too difficult. Well, do not resist the path. Do not resist letting it go if it's too difficult. If you're in pain, do not hold something that's not for you, because in order for things to make way, you need to let go for what is for you. And if you are given a gift from the divine in the form of a new partner, don't bin them off so easily. Okay? Maybe it's a new business partner, maybe it's a new business venture, maybe it's a new friend or situation and something gave you the ick. I don't know. But I think, when it comes to walking the path laid out for us, it's not always easy. The best things in life are not easy. They require work. And you know, this came out with it, but I didn't put it on the intro. But it's companions. Spend some time with a companion, and feel the safety of being together, lightness and ease, and the reasons to just be on your path. Because you know, people are there to make life easier, not harder. But I like to say this: when it comes to unions, good women and good men will challenge you. They will not let you sit on your ass and give lackluster stuff, breadcrumbing. They will challenge you by opening you to your own emotions and reflecting a mirror in your face to say, hey, I don't like what you're doing here and there and what have you. And it's about stepping up to that, okay? Because companionship comes with trust, it comes with communication, it comes with openness, and not always pleasant openness. Sometimes honesty hurts, especially when they're right on the money. But it's about being big enough to actually be accountable for yourself and to communicate and be open about things. That comes with friendships, that comes with business and finance. It comes in every area of life. I'm not just talking about relationships here. I'm talking about opening up and being true to who you are. Do not resist the path laid for you. Everything has its purpose, including your need to be honest, including your need to be there in that moment and be you. Because being you is what's important. Being you is what is needed. Being you is allowing for a mirror to be held up to those around you so that they can see what they need to address. And they with you show you that. You're being asked by spirit because the Four of Air, air is all about mental health, emotions, thoughts. You know, it's time to take a rest or vacation. Allow more time before making decision. So here, it might be that you do need to take a little time away, straighten your head out. Maybe you have been in a relationship, a situationship for a relationship, and you need a moment to think about whether this is for you or not. Maybe you need time to really establish what it is you want to, where you want to take this, how you want to address this, what you want to say. You know, but taking time for yourself is important, even in work. Maybe you need time to think about whether you want to carry on in your job. Maybe you need time to really just rest and unwind and do some meditation so that you can hear the voice of the divine speaking to you in the silence. Because our guides and angels, the angels who are talking to you today, they can drop in little bits of advice and guidance when you are in peace, because you're not listening to your ego, you're not listening to your mind's noise and traffic. It's quiet, and that's when the divine's quiet voice drops in and drops in images, ideas, inspirations, music, words, song, you know, all sorts of things that will just give you that momentary brilliance and thought that you need and inspiration to make the right decision and choose the path of least resistance and actually be able to tackle the challenges that you're being presented with now. The Magician, as above, so below, as within, so without. You have everything, every element at your disposal: earth, air, fire, water. You are the alchemist. You are the powerful one walking the path of your life. So you already have all that you need. There is nothing external to you that is going to actually be needed in order to do the right thing on your path. Angels are saying today, you have those tools. You have the inspiration, you have the intuition, you have the manifestation power, you have the knowledge, because you've walked the path in order to gain it, to be ready for the things that you're going through now. If you truly allowed yourself that confidence, that self-confidence, that self-belief, that self-love, that self-worth, that moment of clarity, that moment of peace and rest to make the decision, you will know what to do. And stay with companions. Find a friend who can help you with your decision that you are right now stuck upon. But be aware that your friends' advice will be jaded because they themselves have had jaded experiences. And so therefore, their advice will be coloured through their lens of experience. And so therefore, it's about taking it on board, but not allowing it to colour your own choice, because it is up to you, no one else, to make the decisions on your path. So we now have water. So water, falling in love, the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, or a new home. So it could be that you're moving into a new home soon and you're worried about where you're going to end up. You will end up where you need to be. What you need to understand is that you have the resources and the tools here to actually make it happen for you. And sometimes it's good to have a little break on your path and a little rest, and to lean on the love and companionship of your friends and your family, those who can offer you sage advice. But as I said to you, and I warn you, you are the one who makes the choice. Do not let others' pasts jade your own decision, okay? Make it from the heart. Because here, for some of you watching this, it's not about a new home. This is about a relationship. This is about making that commitment. You have had resistance to this commitment. You've been in fear of it. You've been hiding with your friends. You've been lacking confidence in yourself that you can actually make this work, that you have the resources to make this new connection work. And you have been in resistance. Maybe you shut down. Maybe you walked away. Maybe you have been expecting something different to the other person. But the path is still laid out before you. And it's about looking at your own resistance. It's about going within. It is about the self. Every relationship, it's not just about the partnership, but about how you turn up to it. It's about how you and yourself are. Have you healed your hurt? Are you subconsciously affecting your new relationship with your past trauma because you haven't truly addressed it? Have you had a really difficult childhood that is in some way colouring the way you're treating the love of your life now? Because that is the potential love of your life. Are you pushing a person away because they're asking you to step up? Are you pushing it away because you're in fear? Are you communicating? Do you have the ability to communicate? All these things are on the path. And what you're being asked to do is not to resist opening up. It's not to resist shutting. It's to, resisting causes more problems because it hurts the people around you. It stunts your growth. It sets you back on your path and can leave you open to old karmic trauma coming back around for another go, because the universe sets you up for people where they feel there's no mistakes in the universe. If someone comes into your life, it's because the universe thinks you're ready for that connection. You're ready for that challenge. So if you then say to the universe, I don't want this higher level soul, I don't want this new challenge, I don't want to have to make that much of an effort, and you push them away, you're signifying to the universe two things. One, that you're not ready for the love of your life, and two, you're more comfortable in karmic relationships where you've been actually very hurt and insecure in the past. But you've learned those behaviors, and you've learned them because of your past hurt and trauma. So it's the old familiar versus the new, where it's more challenging and you have to face your fears and you have to step up to the plate and you have to open up and you have to be present. So, which is easier? The path of least resistance, where you step up and you open up and face your fears, or resisting change, pushing yourself back down a path to an earlier set of circumstances and trauma that you've now lied to yourself into being happy about. You're an ex. Your exes are exes for reasons. You know what I mean? Things fall apart because they didn't work. And you lying to yourself about the fact that you may have been happy in an earlier situation and that you don't need this level of challenge now. Well, if you were so happy and if everything was so perfect, why are you still not with that person? Why is that relationship broken down? Why is it now that you are being presented with a higher level soul that's come to you to challenge you, to give you a love more deeper than you've ever known? So this new beginning, this new relationship is a challenge for you to not resist. This is for you to open up to, because it has a purpose. Every relationship has a purpose. And one of them is about self-love. It's about finding your voice. For some of you, you are the ones that have been opening up and being honest. It's about finding self-love. It's about finding your voice. It's about finding you. It's about sticking to that self-worth, sticking to that passion for yourself and your job and your, actually being you in all your fullness and glory, unapologetically. If that person who, say, is the opposite of what I just said, and they're the ones putting up the resistance, and they're the ones that keep shutting you down, and they're the ones that keep pushing you away, don't keep going back for more. You choose the path of the least resistance and leave. Let them get on with it. You don't need to keep putting yourself back in there. They've chosen the path of resistance, not you. You leave. You say, I'm not getting involved in this. But that in itself is a lesson on your path. Will it come back around? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe that was the whole purpose of the relationship. But today it's about resistance. It's about not resisting the path laid out for you. Everything has a purpose. New relationships have a purpose. Business relationships have a purpose. Your friendships have a purpose. Your family dynamics, everything. From the moment you get up in the morning to the dreams you have at night, to every breath you take, every step you make has a purpose. It might be, I think, at the moment that you are in conflict with others over certain things. I think you've had a fallout with somebody and that you are potentially going to be romantically involved with. I don't know if really this has got off the ground yet, this relationship. I think it's had teething problems. I think, it's not that you either of you lack interest. I think it's just a difference of the way that you both do things. But there's no communication. And the air is all about thoughts, and speaking your mind, I think, as well, is important. Knowing that you have what it takes to make this work, both of you, because you've been given the challenge. You have. And both of you are walking your path together. But I think if you can overcome your bothersome challenges, the conflict, and the bothersome details of this relationship, the challenges of maybe distance, maybe, differences in religious beliefs, diet. I mean, I don't know. It could be quite a few things that you both differ in. But it is about communication. It's about bridging the gaps, the path of least resistance. Compromise. That's the path of least resistance. Open your mouths and start talking properly to each other. Have that conversation, the conversation that we all get icky about, but it needs to be said. And when somebody's coming at you with their thoughts and their emotions and they're being honest with you, do yourself a favor and allow honesty to come from you in return. Because if that person's already being vulnerable with you, they're not going to throw your vulnerability back in your face. They're seeking it out from you because they're opening themselves to it. And if you two can actually overcome the differences, if you can actually communicate, this is the start of a beautiful thing between you. And I think, it's the same with your challenges at work. It's the same with your challenges in family dynamics. It's about being open and honest and the path of least resistance. In some cases, it's actually walking away. If you're in a narcissistic bond, and we're going to cover this next week, the best thing to do with narcissists is to cut them off completely. It doesn't matter if they're family members or not. They're not treating you with respect, love, dignity. They are using you as a resource, okay? You're a fuel to them. And the only way To remove yourself is to cut them off completely and give them no way back to you. If you can do that, well, you're going to have happiness because they're out of your life. If you can actually make up with this person and actually open your mouth, and maybe you owe them an apology or they owe you one, but if you don't start a dialogue, it's not going to come out. It's not going to happen. That's what I say to people is like, don't resist change. Change is necessary. Change is good. Change is what creates dynamics that uplift you into a new world of being and a new life, right? When people come into our lives, they don't come to mess us up. They come to liberate us. The negative experiences liberate you. The positive ones uplift you. Everything has a purpose. And so it isn't about resisting change. It isn't about resisting romance. Okay? Why do you want to resist something that is going to potentially be the most amazing thing that's ever happened to you in your life? Are you prepared to run away and bin it because suddenly you're presented with a little bit of difficulty? Really? You're not going to know until you get to heaven, but then when you look back and you see the possibility of the timeline and you see what you let go, you're going to have this massive regret. You can't go back and do it again with the same life. You only get one shot in life, right? You get one shot at everything. Unless you have somebody who is forgiving and patient and allows you back to try again, to mend things. Do you have a kind soul like that in your life who's already forgiven you, who is open to listening to you? Are you kind to yourself? Do you allow for self-healing and growth? Are you allowing yourself to let go of the past, or are you resisting the change? Are you resisting doing the healing because it's painful? These are things that you need to ask yourself. But if you can actually overcome these challenges and walk the path, you will have a happy outcome. You're going to have, in that silence, in that rest, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. And you will find confidence in yourself because you'll be honoring yourself with truth, honoring yourself with purpose, honoring your partner in this new found relationship that's budding and wanting to come into being. Okay, if we're talking about potential relationships, I know that today this is a general reading, and this is going to apply to whatever area of your life it is needed. Okay, but you can apply the very practicality of what I'm talking about to any given situation when it comes to family dynamics, relationships, and workplace, and also with yourself, because self-love is so important. And the angels come today with a message of emotional sensitivity. They are saying, honor and respect your deep sensitivity as it is a gift to us all. Are you sensitive? Has somebody said something to you that's upset you and hurt you? Were you offended? Did you shut down? Instead of actually defending your place and actually communicating your hurt and actually saying, oh, that really upset me, well, that's not the case, and defend your perspective, your point of view, did you come forth with it? Did you open up? Did you put yourself out there to reach an understanding? Because the thing is, people aren't mind readers, okay? They aren't. You have to be a good communicator, and you have to be able to trust yourself and your emotions and know that person is going to validate what you're saying. And even if they don't, you should validate yourself and honor yourself and say, I've been true to myself. I know that I did the best in this situation because I honored me. I honored my clarity. I honored my purpose. I honored my point of view. And I gave it to that person in respect and with honesty and care. Emotional sensitivity is not a weakness. It's actually a strength. And if you can actually show that to somebody and open up and allow them in, I think you might be pleasantly surprised, because people are emotional beings. We all are. We all have emotional vulnerability, and we all look for emotional sensitivity in others. I know myself as a Cancer, I have a tendency to test the emotional sensitivity and vulnerability of people because I want to know that I can trust them with my heart, with who I am. Do they have compassion? Do they have empathy? Are they going to treat me with love and respect? Or are they going to not talk to me? Or are they going to shit all over what I'm saying to them? Are they going to actually abuse me and my thoughts and feelings and emotions? Because that's a good Rorschach test for someone. Put it out there and see what their reaction is. What do they see when they look at you? Is it someone who sees you, or someone who sees a mirroring reflection of their own ego and self and shuts you down and walks away? Doesn't matter either way. The way that you know is that one, ego and reflections and mirroring happens, but it means that person's incapable of actually seeing you and you as you truly are. But there are people out there who will and will validate it and in return give you the same reward. Okay? Their emotions, their sensitivity, their vulnerability, their openness, they will let you in, and you build a beautiful friendship, a beautiful relationship, a beautiful business partnership, because you find people who are on your level, who are grounded and who are there because you chose the path of least resistance. You didn't fear. You trusted. You trusted yourself. You trusted the divine. You trusted the path that's set before you. It could be that you're having issues that, from given to you by your parents. We all are the sum of our childhoods and our parents that raised us, and for better or worse, I mean, they damage us. They don't mean to, but sometimes they do, and sometimes they do mean to. And it can cause issues in our development because we have learned behaviors that we have to then recognize and remove and unlearn, and allow for self-love and allow for inner child healing, allow for the development of our own sovereignty, because it's in spite of our parents we grow up, not because of them in some regards. So it could be that, your parents were an issue, but in the divine, in the divine sense of the word, our parents love us eternally. I mean, since my father passed to heaven, I've forgiven him, and he's my father again now. He couldn't be here, but in heaven he is. And so forgiveness is very key in releasing family trauma and actually, not resisting the path by giving forgiveness. Forgiveness releases blocks, and it also releases resistance on your life's path journey, because it frees you up and it opens you and it heals you. Integrity. I love this quality in people. Integrity. Align your actions so they match your values, and inner knowingness of what is right for you. Because what's right for you may not be right for someone else. And so it is about knowing what is right for you and communicating that to the outside world. Okay? This is me. These are my values. This is how I will treat you, and this is how I expect to be treated. These are my thoughts and feelings towards you. Openness, honesty, integrity, dignity, respect, honor, and integrity. These things are the foundations and cornerstones of Path of Least Resistance, because when you're being true to yourself, you are being easy for other people to navigate, because there's nothing hidden. Okay? What you see is what you get. I am what I am, and I need no excuses, because God made me this way and I'm perfect just the way I am. Thank you very much. And, being open to criticism and open to correction from others means that you can become the best version of yourself you like. Don't let your ego block the friendly advice of other people. Not everything's going to resonate. Not everything is truth. But a lot of the time, those that are on our path are there to teach us about ourselves and to show us what we're doing wrong and how we can ourselves improve. And yet, it's sometimes painful and horrible to have to listen to someone picking at you, pointing shit out that maybe you're not ready to hear. But the reason that they've done that is because the universe thinks you're ready to walk the path to healing, improvement, and acknowledgement. And it's self-acknowledgement, because you're acknowledging the shadow part of yourself that needs changing and loving and accepting, because often we won't accept that we have our shadow part, that, you know, there's that darkness that we hide from everyone else, but it's there and it comes out. So it's knowing that and getting to know you on a deeper level. It's the path of least resistance. It's doing the change, doing the healing, being open on your path. Right, let's have a look what we've got next. Change. Change is coming for you, pile number one. And it's a new relationship, business, partnership. Something is coming into your life after a period of rest and meditation, relaxation. There has been conflict in this on this path for you, but change is necessary. Change is coming, and these people, these situations here, these are the ones that will come to give you change. I just heard from Spirit, for the better, not for the worse. It's for the better. It's to allow for you to receive what is for you. Now, next is flexibility. You're being asked by the angels to have flexibility. Be flexible with the person that you're going to have a relationship. Be open to listening to what they're saying. If they keep repeating the same stuff, obviously there's something there to be taken notice of, isn't there? It's an issue that needs to be addressed, not ignored, not shut down. You know, don't go within and think, oh, well, it's not me, it's them, they're too much. No, they're actually honoring you with their truth, their time, and their effort. Maybe you should listen. Maybe you should speak to them back with your emotional vulnerability. Sort it out. It's a conversation. It doesn't have to be an argument or a battle or a criticism against you, and, you know, your ego doesn't need to get involved. Be flexible for the change that is coming. And this will be for your job as well. They just said to me, for employment, there is going to be some major shifts coming up towards the end of this year for pile one. You also are, you can't make these cards up. You're also being asked to stay in the flow of abundance. Being in the flow is the path of least resistance. So start being in the flow. That means like accepting the universe has got your back and saying all that is for me will be and stay in my life and it won't leave. All that's not for me will leave my life. Okay? I accept whatever's coming. I open myself to the signs, synchronicities, and guidance of Spirit and the angels, because they're going to guide me on my path. For everything that comes my way has a purpose. I need to be open to receiving that and open to working with that. You must work with it, okay? Be in the flow. Oh, you can't make this up. Look, we've got Ace of Water, Sacred Union. Divine Counterpart Union, number 27, which is my number. It's the Sacred Union, partnership and romance. So this is about going into business, into a business partnership, or into a sacred union. This is the card of romance. You have a significant person in your life at the minute. I don't feel like you're talking to them. I don't feel like it's getting anywhere right now. I feel like you're in a stalemate. One of you has to budge, and I think it's probably going to have to be you. If you are the one that put up the boundary in the first place. Did you actually not listen to them? Or did you actually shut them down? Were you the one to walk away? I mean, it's going to be different for everyone. I mean, not everyone. If it's a woman, you were forced to walk away. We don't chase men. We are like the flower, they are the bee. Do you know what I mean? It's not for you to go running after a man, and if you're constantly chasing after him and trying to get him to do right by you, he's not going to do right by you, so you might as well just leave it. Yeah. If that man wants to come round for another try and have integrity, and instead of giving you half-assed effort and breadcrumbing you and shutting you down, and he comes back with an apology and he really makes a concerted effort to be flexible and embrace the change that is required to make something beautiful, wonderful. Welcome to your sacred union. Which is why I want to say the path of least resistance for women is to walk away. Don't resist having to let go if he's not right, okay? Because you're worth so much more. And I mean, I had parental issues that caused me to continually self-sacrifice to make sure everybody else was happy. But now I honor my voice, and I will walk away if things aren't right. Why should I run after a man who doesn't want to be there for me and doesn't want to talk to me? Do you know what I mean? It's just like you've got to be able to look after yourself and have your peace. Look, here's the resting tree. Patience and stillness. Not everything happens when we want it to happen. Not everything is designed to, go smoothly. Sometimes there are periods of rest, patience, stillness, and it's in the stillness and the patience and silence when you two are not talking that the most change comes about, because you have time to really think about what you want, what you need, and whether this relationship does really mean something to you. And also to examine yourself and your own behavior and say, hey, am I letting my past affect this potential new relationship? Am I unconsciously self-sabotaging my connection? And the same goes for you. Are you doing the same thing in your own way? The angels, I can't make this up, I swear, I didn't even want to get this into a commitment thing, but commitment to your path, commitment, because everything has a purpose, right? Like you've got here change, flexibility, flow, patience, stillness, right? Integrity. These are all important qualities to have within yourself, yeah? And commitment to doing what's right and to actually sharing your time with someone and sharing of you with someone is a commitment, right? It's not about shallowness, breadcrumbing, occasional texting, like ignoring people. It's not about that. And it's the same for a woman. When you give too much of yourself, well, maybe dial it back. You shouldn't be running around after people. But you both, when you start something, acknowledge the commitment. Because it is. You both are committed to making something work or not. You commit to yourself and your time and your energy, or you commit to the partnership. And you walk the path of least resistance depending on the situationship that you're finding yourself in for this reading. Some of you, it's a new relationship. Some of you, it's walking away from old. Some of you, it's changing job. Some of you, it is a new business partnership and the end of an old. It's about maybe going and working for yourself and giving up your day job. Whatever this is, it's about commitment to making it work. Okay? Loyalty, responsibility, truth. That's a big one. Truth. We all need truth with a capital T in our lives. And when you actually embrace all that you are as a spiritual being, and you go within, which you're asked to do here, to have some time in the quiet, to hear what Spirit wants to say to you, you can actually gain spiritual insight, growth, solutions to your issues, even to actually make a concerted effort to fix things with the special person in your life, because this person, I believe, if you are so inclined at the moment and in an open contact, they are special to you and you are to them. I just don't think that you've had proper conversation about it. And truth is so important, and commitment to making something work is so important. Or commitment to walking away. That's also so important. But if you walk away and you don't look back because you know that it's not going to work because you've tried it. It's about honesty, integrity, being flexible to the changes that are needed to lift you onto your highest path. So we have divine counterpart unions here where you're both going to be challenging each other to step up to the plate. So applying honesty in a light daily is a fast track to creating a peaceful, meaningful life. It is how you find solutions and comfort, release worries by speaking your truth and expressing emotions regularly. Open up for the best is yet to come. So I express my emotions. I tell people what I think, what I feel, and I am open and honest. People can find that quite confronting, but those who know me know where they stand because I speak my mind and I honor you with my truth. I honor you with how I feel. Yeah, maybe that's too much for you. Maybe not. Maybe, you're going to value that and see its value and see that it's a form of deep respect and love that I have for you, that I am spending my time telling you how I feel. Clarity, commitment. This is so weird. Right. Now we have clarity with commitment. You haven't had, like, for those that this refers to in a relationship status, like, you haven't given them clarity. Whoever's watching this, I swear down, you, like, and neither of you haven't been open and honest about what you want and about what sort of commitment you're looking for, and in order for there to be transformation, in order for there to be progress in a relationship, you need clarity, because it's a transformative energy. It allows you both to get on the same page. It allows you to walk together in the path of least resistance, because you're not resisting telling the truth. You're not resisting the vulnerability of love. Okay? One of the reasons that this doesn't work so far is because you put a spanner in the works, you put a boulder in the way, you put an obstacle, because you shut down. Maybe you even binned it off, I don't know. But you really need to have clarity. See, the thing is, and I want to say this to whoever's listening, you are not a victim of circumstance. Nobody is a victim of their circumstance. No one. Because victimhood is a perspective, right? We can all be a victim of somebody, but it's how we then respond to that. Do we allow that person to have our power by becoming a victim, or do we not allow them the power over us? So you're not a victim of circumstance. Rather, you are the beneficiary of it in this instance when we're talking about a new lover. Especially if there's been heat and fiery passion already. Do you know what I mean? That chemistry is a difficult thing to find, my darlings. And if you have found someone who you click with on that level, binning it off is a bit silly. What, because you couldn't open up and have an honest talk and conversation? Sometimes it's needed. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Because, okay, if you actually say to that person, I really want this, and they say no, well, you know where you stand. You chose the path of least resistance, because if you'd resisted the truth, you could have been in a situationship which would have been non-fulfilling, and it would have been soul killing, really, heart killing, because all the time that you're spending your time with somebody who doesn't want what you want, the one who would want what you want walks by, because you're not free to explore it. So clarity is important. Clarity is important because it frees you, or it actually allows for transformation into a deeper union and respect and hot, sexy relationship. Just saying, truth, communication, they are the foundations, rock bed of a good relationship. And there's no getting away from that. And compromise. Oh my gosh, you can't make this up, right? Can you? So, compromise, self-awareness, forgiveness, professionalism, empathy, tenacity, and freedom. Compromise. We all need to compromise, and in order to compromise, you need to actually speak out and have a conversation to reach a compromise. Do you not? Compromise comes in every area, including work. It comes within the self. It comes within relationships. It comes within family dynamics. We have to meet people halfway. We cannot expect to get our way, because we are working with others at all times. And so it is finding a meeting place where you can meet each other halfway and form a compromise that suits both parties. So let go of what no longer serves you. Stop holding on to grudges. Express your emotions. You can't make this up, this message, because so far expressing your emotions has come out a few times, including emotional sensitivity. So this is to do with emotions for pile 1 today. Expressing those emotions. Don't be so repressed. Express. Don't repress. And aim towards a compromise. Where there's a lack of understanding, it's best to just move on. The truth will set you free. So if there's a lack of understanding and you can't reach a compromise, then you can't gain the clarity that you seek, move on. You've tried your best. It's just banging your head against a brick wall, is it not? And that's why the path of least resistance in those cases is to walk away. But this is all about today a message of walking the path and change, relationships, jobs, family dynamics, whichever this applies to you, my darlings. I hope that this message finds you well, and I hope that it serves you in some way. If you've liked this message today, please leave me a thumbs up. Subscribe to Healing River Tarot. It is free to do. I leave the angels' love with you, my love with you, and I will see you on Thursday for the next episode of Advice Will Be Nice, where we will be covering narcissistic abuse. Until then, bye, my loves.